Overthink everything. Because why be calm when chaotic is so much better for the gram? Hello everyone, welcome to Unscrew Yourself with me, Lihle Msimang, where we put an end to self-limiting behavior and embrace the chaos called life. Chomi, have you ever seen or noticed something that felt a little bit off? Then this feeling creates a thought. Then that thought creates another thought, which creates more thoughts. And all these thoughts cause you to panic. And now when you're in this panic, you realize, no man, this is serious. I need to act. I need to solve this problem to calm yourself down. But for some reason, the more you act, the more you make things worse. Has that ever happened to you? And then after all of that, you realize that everything you've been thinking is not true. Such a problem doesn't exist. In fact, it's all just false assumptions. Realizing this should make you calm, right? Like you should be like, ha ha ha, sorry I spiraled, you know me. But no, Chomi. Instead, you start overthinking about why you thought that to begin with. Having weird internal dialogue like, Maranawe, why would you even think such a thing? Now this person thinks we're crazy. Well, congratulations, Chomi. You are an overthinker. Welcome to the club. See, I'm an overthinker myself and I recognize the spiral. Chomi, how about we join another club called No More Anxiety? Let's try something different. Then this way you can unscrew yourself. Today I want to talk about the psychology behind overthinking. Like, what is this thing? Where does it come from? And then I'll also share tips that will hopefully help you deal with it when it creeps up. Before we begin though, just a disclaimer, I am not a licensed psychologist or a mental health practitioner. I'm just a person who's interested in understanding why are there some people who can handle things very well, while the rest of us are busy walking into glass doors of life. We're like birds bumping into this thing over and over and over again until we're like, no man, lento yanglimaza. Okay, so we must go around. Okay. So everything I'm about to share is based on my own personal research. And I would encourage you to do your own. It's literally the best way to find what works for you. Me? I'm just a guideline. I'm here for the guy who thinks his boss is going to fire him because they said, Chief, see me tomorrow ka 8, ne? Don't be late ka 8. Or that girl whose boyfriend wasn't answering her call, which clearly means he's cheating and he should actually go to hell because honestly, it's been 2 minutes since they chatted. Where else could he be? But then realizes that brothers was just in the toilet and the phone was on the charger. But now, brother, it's your fault. Why ungachajanga before uyogaka? Uyamazi umuntu wakho njani? Okay, let me give you some context as to where this thing comes from. So, a few months ago, I came to the realization of my own overthinking and the need to actually start finding ways to deal with it. So on this particular day, I was going to visit a friend of mine, and there was an intersection that had just a lot of traffic. And there was a homeless man on the side of the road casually drinking milk. Then, as per homeless man routine, he goes around asking people for money. Then eventually he gets to me and asks me for money, which I politely tell him, Ade brothers, I'll get you next time. But also, as per homeless man routine, he insisted, asking for more. My sister, now you need 1 rand. Okay, 5 up, 2 up. My sister, now 1 cent. And like the more he asked me, and after several I can't help yous, I got irritated. Then I looked at him and I said, Yazin, beg again. Beg one more time. Let's see if F&B suddenly gives me money or if you get a hot clap. I dare you. Beg. The next thing that happens, guys, I cannot make this up. This man cusses me out, then takes his box of milk and pours it all over my windscreen. Like literally to the last drop. This man didn't care how thirsty or hungry he was. He was just like, I am finishing this on you. You will see white on the road here. That's not what pissed me off the most. What pissed me off the most is that when he was done, he released a fotek and walked off. Please understand me. He didn't run. He walked off because he knew that I am stuck in traffic and I am not going to leave my car over there just to deal with him. The car next to me had a gentleman who was witnessing the whole thing. He was dead. He was dead. Then he turns and looks at me and says, the one thing that overthinkers don't like hearing. My sister, just let it go. People who say, just let it go, they also don't say when you should let it go. Like, should I let it go before or after I am done obsessing about this thing? Because then what eventually happened was that I was driving to my friend's house, pissed. You know when you start thinking of ways that you can annihilate this person. But here's the thing, you didn't annihilate them. You didn't. He went and sat on the corner and carried on with his life. And that's when it hit me that this man has forgotten about me. He has forgotten that ngimnqishi tubob. He has forgotten. He's moved on with his life. He's on to pouring milk on the next victim. And that's what overthinking looks like. It can literally ruin a day that was meant to be great. Now I allowed milk to ruin my whole day. See, psychology describes overthinking as mainly stressing about something that happened in the past or being anxious about what might happen in the future. I guess sometimes you get best of both worlds because you start wondering, what if what happened yesterday happens again tomorrow? Or what if what happens tomorrow triggers how I felt yesterday? Now you're there like, oh my gosh, what if milk pours again? But still, how do you know you're an overthinker? What are the signs? If you overcomplicate simple things, for example, you know that moment where you're at a restaurant and the waiter gives you your food and says, enjoy your meal. And then you say, you too. If you're the type of person that will stress about that and want to call the waiter back just so that you can apologize and explain that you were not really concentrating, that waiter didn't hear what you're saying. That waiter is too busy focused on orders and plates. Or if you ask yourself too many negative what ifs and find yourself in a spiral. What if they say no? What if they're cheating? What if they fire me? I'd like to suggest a different what if. What if I were to tell you, you can get over your overthinking? But how? Well, number one, just breathe. That's it. Breathe. Studies show that if you take a few deep breaths in and out, you lower your heart rate because focusing on the breath allows you to focus on the present. And then it tells the brain that everything is fine, everything is safe. Then you'll realize that whatever is in front of you is really not all that complicated. It's simpler than you think. For example, I could have just washed the milk away with my wipers. Number two, start engaging in physical activities. Yes, exercise. Chomi, hambo jima, because apparently the annoying fitness influencers have been correct this whole time. But here's the thing. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. like those guys because apparently they can freeze in mid-air for 4 minutes before diving into a swimming pool. No, you don't even need a gym membership. You can do simple things like take a walk or a run, join an online yoga class. And as much as I hate it, you can go hiking. All of these things are enough to release the endorphins needed to regulate your mood. And the more regulated your mood, you can start thinking clearly. Before I move on to the third point, I'd just like to say to all the people that keep inviting me to their weekend hikes, it's still no. I'll lift weights. It's okay because honestly, I am not walking esigangeni for health. Those mountains are made for amathwasana. Thanks. The third thing you need to do is start realizing you're not crazy. In as much as you keep thinking to yourself, I'm crazy, I'm crazy, I'm crazy, you're actually not. There is nothing wrong with thinking things through. It's not a bad thing. In fact, studies show that it's always best to take a moment and think before we act. It prevents us from major risks. In fact, I believe overthinkers can save the world. Yeah, I said it. Because we see trouble before it troubles anyone. Then we create solutions to try stop this trouble. You're welcome. Okay, now that I've fed your delusion, let's be real. Though thinking things through to make sound decisions is good for you, there is a huge difference between comparing notes and creating assumptions that don't exist. So next time you find yourself spiraling, panicking over a message, a meeting, or a man who hasn't replied in 3.5 minutes, pause. Then remember that not every thought is a prophecy. Chomi, I know you're hiking, but you're not a gobela, man. Your brain is just being dramatic and having imaginative anxiety. And while that's not ideal, it is manageable. So before you spiral, breathe, take a walk, stretch, maybe come back and re-listen to this video. I'd actually appreciate the views, so don't forget to subscribe because the more this channel grows, the more I help you to unscrew yourself. But basically what I'm saying is, do whatever it takes to bring you back to reality. Chomi, life is chaotic enough, hey? Ngapha habo Trump, Elon Musk, there are 49 refugees. The last thing you want is for your mind to create imaginary beef. Relax. Instead of saying, what if I can't? Start saying, what if I can deal with these things in a healthy manner? You can do it. Okay, I know you still have to panic first, but you can do it. I believe in you. My name is Lihle Msimang. Thank you for listening and check you next time as we continue unscrewing ourselves. If this kind of content resonates with you and you'd like to get more guides on how to unscrew yourself, join my email list. The link is in the description below. You will receive links to download some ebooks, blogs, and other content straight to your email. So join now, skip the algorithm, and get regular newsletters with funny quotes to help you view life differently.